Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a wonderful guest in studio. It's Debbie Lendino. She's a broker with John Greene Realtor. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you, Liz. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. I feel like we're already friends. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved with being a realtor.
Well, I started my career in 2014. I'd been always kind of planted in the back of my head from my dad, actually, over the years. You know, Debbie, you should go into real estate. You'd be really great at this. And, you know, I spent most of my focus raising my children, 4 kids that I have at home. And I was a working stay-at-home mom, ran a foreign exchange program for several years. And then life just kind of happened. I had a big crisis, so to speak, that happened in our household. And I knew I had to do something. There was no other option. And I Googled real estate classes in Naperville, and I started the very next day. So on my journey into real estate, and yeah, that's how that kind of all started.
That's awesome. Sometimes, you know, life happens and it pushes us to what we really should be doing.
Absolutely, yep.
How did you find John Greene?
Well, my pre-license class was taken through Your House Academy that was being held in the John Greene building. T.G. Tasso, who is a teammate, she also does all the training and everything. She was doing that, and I just felt really drawn to that. Once I got my broker license, which was, interviewing with other brokerages, and I just kept coming back to John Greene. The reason is it just was very much in line with who I am as a person, very value and family oriented. They're all about fun and making memories, but being very serious about client focus. So they're very embedded in the community. I mean, you've seen our name around. We keep getting the best of Naperville, and there's a reason for that. We don't compete with each other or against each other. We work as a team. All of that is just very important, but the training, phenomenal. I don't know how realtors are out there without some really strong training, and that's the one thing. They do not allow us out in the field unless we've got it, all the boxes are checked. So we feel confident and ready to be that trusted advisor that we need to be with our clients.
That's awesome. Well, it's an important transaction, so we're counting on you to be absolutely trained.
Absolutely.
100%, if not more. Knowing you'd be 150%.
It's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal. So what do you think sets you apart from other realtors? There's a lot out there.
There is a lot out there, and even in the Naperville market, it's just saturated with realtors, and some very wonderful within our office and other offices as well. It's a tough business. It's not for the faint of heart, and but I think for myself, there's a few things that are pointed out. Number one, I'm a hustler, so I work very, very hard for my clients from the time that I meet them until well past the closing. So I have a process from beginning until end and then some. So my post-close process is very strong. So I keep in touch. I'm a connector. I'm a big relationship builder. It's important to be trusted and liked. And you know, it's built me well at this point so far. So we all have access as realtors to the same systems. You know, we're all on the MLS. We all have CRMs. You know, we all have our marketing brochures and things like that. We all use professional photography. Not all of us. Most of us do. So to really be set apart, I think it's just kind of going back to just being kind, care about others, and not make it about yourself. It's not a business transaction. It's a service to another human being, and that's how I see myself as a realtor, and I think it's important.
Right. Well, and you're right. It is a transaction, but it is the largest one we're going to make.
It's the biggest investment outside of your family.
Right.
Yes, it's huge.
Right. And it comes with so many emotions and at so many different times in our life that it's a lot that a realtor has to deal with.
It is. We wear many hats.
Yes, you do.
Yes. I take off one hat. I take off the okay. Let's develop a marketing plan. Okay. Let's have these tough negotiation skills. And you know what? Let's just be friends. You need a therapist. I'm your therapist. You need someone to bring the screwdriver and the hammer. I'm that too. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Do you have an area of expertise? Are you more a buyer or seller agent?
I'm pretty split. Yes. Okay. I'm this year I'm holding a lot of listings, so I'm a little bit more listing heavy than I am on the buyer side, which is great. I enjoy working with both. I think as far as an area, I don't have, at this point in my career, being my 5th year, I'm not not like I am the luxury home specialist. I am the first-time home buyer specialist. I do all things, and I go everywhere. But a couple of things that I do really, really well, I'm a very big advocate of open homes for my sellers, and also just to have some buyer connection and things like that. But I have a very good conversion rate with that.
Nice.
I have never bought into lead generation, so I haven't put really so much money into that end of it. But we do have opportunities within our office, and so I'm on a team like relocation and things like that, and I have a really good conversion rate with that. I connect well with people. So
I can kind of see why you would, because I think you're very relatable in that, and that's because I think you've walked the walk. So tell me about your team. It's important for a realtor to have a good team, a strong team, and I know you have the best team.
Absolutely. So having your team of service providers that are and partners that are working, that all are components to the transaction, is so important. Between as far as a lender, an attorney, inspector, even just relationships you have with appraisers over time. All of that is so important to get to the table. Resources of just handymen, and I mean, there's just it's a plethora of people that are just very, very important. It's not just a one person. I generally use one attorney that I use for most of my transactions, and then when I have a client that says, "No, I insist on using this person," I'm just like, okay, and it's their right to do that, of course. So, and as far as lender, sometimes it's not a one size fits all. So what you use for some really just traditional buyer transactions and someone getting a loan may not work for someone who is needing to work on some credit, or there's just different, it's not a one size fits all. So it's good to have that team. There's a lot of moving parts in the transaction, and we all have to work together. And once there's something that's under contract from my end, and I hand over that contract to the other providers, now I'm kind of like the overseer to make sure my job is to get it to the closing table. So it's very, very important.
It is, and it's so because when you're my realtor, that I'm relying on you to have those resources.
Yeah,
because
certainly.
Because I don't even know what I need half the time, or
Correct.
I don't need that. You don't realize that. Oh my gosh, I need that handyman because I could really
Correct.
use a fresh coat of paint someplace.
Yes, we are the trusted advisor.
You are. You
100%.
play such an important role. Debbie, what do you like best about your job? What makes you smile?
Well, I'm smiling now just because I love my job so much. I know it's where I'm meant to be. I have zero doubt about that. I'm good at what I do. I feel very confident in what I do. And I just love people. There is nothing better than to have someone smile when they buy the home of their dreams, or if they're downsizing, or if they're in a life transition and I get to hold their hand through it. There's nothing more rewarding than when you have your sign out there. I mean, there's a little bit of selfishness that comes in there too. I mean, it's a feel good, tough business, but it's so important, and it's just. There's nothing like it. Really, there's really nothing like it when you get to just be in people's lives, and that's important to me.
Well, and you do a great job of it, Debbie.
Thank you
so much for what you do.
Thank you.
It's an important role, and it's important to have people with such high value and integrity like you do. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to be right back with more Business Connection. Stay tuned.